Good morning. It is Friday. That means it's time again for some Disney planning. Now, we are getting very close to 180 days from my date to travel. Very excited about that. That means that planning is starting to ramp up a bit. And as you'll notice, I'm not moving yet because I've got something that I need to read out before I actually start driving, because reading and driving is not good. So I'll put up a link in the description, or I'll put up some text in the description confirming these again. I will stress that these are not yet confirmed by Disney, but I have had from 4 separate places these same dates for the Halloween parties. Now, obviously this affects my travel because we're going the end of September, beginning of October. So we want to book in a party. I'll be talking about that a bit more as I drive, but for now, the dates as I am seeing them online, and there are quite a few of them: August 17th, 24th, 28th, and 31st. September 3rd, 7th, 9th, and 11th. 14th, 16th, 18th, 21st, 23rd, 25th, 28th, and 30th. And then October 2nd, 4th, 5th, 8th, 9th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 16th, 18th, 19th, 21st, 23rd, 25th, 26th, 28th, 30th, and of course the 31st. So a lot of party dates there. Starting in August, going all the way through to October. So lots and lots and lots of chances to attend the party if you want to. Unfortunately, though, that does also mean that if you're going to Disney during this time and you're not planning to attend the party, that's a lot of days the park is closing early. Which is not a great thing. I know that there has to be a balance of the two, but it's awkward. Now, I've been lucky enough, and looking at the spreadsheet that I've already put together for our own journey, it actually falls that in the 2 weeks that we're there, we had only planned to be in the Magic Kingdom on one day that's being affected by the party. Now, that comes in quite handy because we were expecting that we would attend the party one time. So, it falls perfectly that we now know what day we're going to try to book the party for. We've fallen very lucky with that. If we had found out that there were 2 or 3 different days that the party was going to be going on when we were planning to be in the Magic Kingdom, we would have had to look at changing that up some, because otherwise you end up only getting till 6 p.m., which I suppose isn't that bad. Some people call it a day by then, but because my wife and I are definitely planning on targeting the evenings in the park, a park closing at 6 p.m. would cramp that quite a bit. It's also worth mentioning that because we are just a couple weeks short of our 180 days, the magic hours for up to 2 weeks before we go are confirmed in the My Disney Experience. Excuse me. The magic hours for 2 weeks before we go are now in the My Disney Experience app. I've looked at the last 3 months patterning. It's basically unchanged, so I can fairly safely assume now that going forward 2 more weeks, it won't change by then. That means that I won't need to adjust any of my days that we were planning on using the magic hours. We can keep our schedule basically as I've planned it. So I've gotten, again, very lucky there. Now, the Halloween party, jumping back into that, I've never been to one before, so I'm not 100% sure what to expect. We went to the Christmas party this past time we were there, and there was some good and some bad, and I feel like we could have gotten a lot more out of it had we been a bit more knowledgeable. There was a lot going on. There were shows, there were refreshments, there were meet and greets. The problem being is that not realizing the scale of how busy it would be, before the party started, we pushed forward as much as we could to get close to the castle for the shows that were going to be going on there, thinking that we would be able to watch the shows and then go do some of the other stuff. Well, the crowd that crammed in around the castle meant that once we were in there, there was no getting out. We really were trapped right there in front of the castle. Until basically it got to a point that all of the shows had ended, and then everyone kind of slowly started to disperse. Now, the fact that they were showing some of the shows on a loop meant that we were continually fighting new arrivals who were trying to show up and get a spot while we were trying to get out of it. That was our own fault. We in retrospect chose our location very poorly. We should have picked something a bit further back, maybe at the side of one of the gardens with the iron railing, so that we had a clear view, but we still had a clear exit as well. So I don't think we'll make that mistake again for this party. We will want to watch some of the shows, but we will not get ourselves hemmed in. I also get the impression that the Halloween party has less shows and more events that you roam around to, so the crowd should be moving a bit better. I know that there's costumes that people wear. I know that there's trick-or-treating that goes on. I know that there are special meet and greets like Cruella de Vil and the Seven Dwarves, which I'm a huge fan of the Seven Dwarves, so definitely going to be a bonus there. So overall, I'm quite excited. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we are 2 weeks out now. What I will probably do is, it is a Friday that our 180 days falls on. It's actually Good Friday that it falls on. So I'm not going to be at work that day. And what I may actually do is I may actually try to record as I'm trying to book my ADRs and just share that with you guys. Let you actually see what it's like on the day going in and trying to book all of those dining reservations. I think we're going to do it online, so no problem with screen sharing there. I may have to block out some details, obviously. I won't live stream it. I'll record it and then go back through and make sure there's nothing that doesn't need to be in there. But look forward to that in 2 weeks. Next week, I may actually try to bring out my revised spreadsheet again, talk through that a bit more. I may wait until Friday evening to record, that way I can be at my computer and have access to the spreadsheet there. And just kind of run through our final decisions and what my wife and I have decided we're going to be doing and how we're going to be doing it. Until then, hopefully you've gotten something interesting today. Like I said, I'll put those dates that I mentioned at the beginning of the video in the description below. They're not confirmed by Disney, but I have had it on 4 separate sources. So it's starting to look very promising that those are the dates. One of the sources actually is a sales site that basically tried to put them up for sale and then took them down again. So it really does seem like they might already have these dates confirmed by Disney, and it's just not public yet, and they jumped the gun. So, fairly sure they're right. I'll be back Monday with more D&D content. I'll be back on Friday with more Disney content. Until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Like and subscribe if you would. It always benefits. It always is appreciated. And I'll see you later.